Hello and welcome to Threefold Herbal Healing. My name is Leo and I'm the herbalist. And today I wanted to speak about sleep and metabolism. Just note that this is the third video about sleep. So if you're interested to hear the first two videos, you can stop now and go listen to the first two videos. Otherwise, you can just listen to this one by itself. So sleep and metabolism, and let's hop just right in. You spend about a third of your life sleeping if you sleep 7 to 9 hours a night, which is what is the normal, the healthy number of dosage of sleep that an adult needs to sleep. And that's quite a bit. It's about a third of your life. And some people actually consider sleep a waste of time. But that 7 to 9 hours of sleep is really essential for your immune system, metabolism, and mental health. So how did you sleep last night? If you ever experienced a sleepless night, you can remember the fatigue, the irritability that follow you like a shadow the following day. We now know that feeling something is off in your body is not just in your head. Well, actually, it is in your head, but not in the way you think about it. The off feeling you get after you toss and turn all night, counting sheep and listening to the ticking of the clock is due to your hormones going out of whack. Feeling hormonal? Zoom in on the endocrine system. The endocrine system is a network of glands that produce and release hormones. Those hormones regulate essential bodily function, including your appetite and metabolism. So metabolism is the way you produce energy. So the endocrine system regulates your energy production, your body temperature, your sexual drive and function, your blood pressure and heart rate, and your circadian rhythm. While a good night's sleep is crucial for hormone production, a dysregulated endocrine system can also rob you of your sleep. So it can go both ways. If you don't sleep enough, it will be disruptive for your hormones and will create a whole side effect of hormone dysregulation. On the other hand, when your hormones are dysregulated, you might have a hard time getting a good night's sleep. But let's start with a couple of words about metabolism, insulin, and insulin resistance, so we are on the same page and you understand what I'm talking about. So metabolism is the sum or all the chemical processes that occurs within your body to maintain life. Those processes convert food into energy, build and repair tissue, regulate bodily functions. Think of metabolism as the engine that keeps your body running, processing food, to generate energy and sustain vital functions. Metabolism actually happens in every cell in your body. In order for your cells to function, they need energy, and that's where metabolism comes. Cells use glucose from the blood as a fuel to perform their task. But glucose cannot go into cells by itself. It needs help entering the cells. This is where insulin becomes handy. When blood glucose increases, the pancreas secretes insulin. That insulin goes all over the body and play a role by opening the doors of the cells for glucose to go into the cells. You might think about insulin as a key to the doors of the cells. When blood glucose is consistently high, when there is a lot of glucose in the blood all the time, cells start to resist the key, meaning that insulin doesn't work as effectively in clearing the blood of glucose. And cells resist insulin. It's a defense mechanism because the energy production in cell is a combustion process, and the combustion releases a lot of heat. If there is a lot of glucose that stream into the cell, there is more and more of that combustion process, and the heat become higher and higher and higher. Eventually, it can burn the cell and damage it. So cells are kind of protecting themselves and not letting more glucose come in if there is too much glucose coming in. And that is what insulin resistance is. Insulin resistance, once there is insulin resistance and blood glucose will increase in the blood more and more because the cell don't let the glucose come into the cell. They kind of keep it out. So the glucose will rise and rise and rise in the blood, but the pancreas, it only sees the rise in blood glucose. So it will send more and more insulin trying to clear the blood into the cells. And the more the pancreas send insulin, the more the cells will become resistant to that insulin because they don't want all that amount of sugar. And eventually the pancreas will end up damaged because it worked too hard and it became taxed, and cells in the pancreas became damaged, and then they're not able to produce insulin effectively, which is what we call type 2 diabetes. So how is all this metabolism connected to your sleep? So glucose metabolism. When you don't get enough sleep at night, your body go into a stress response. And when your body is in stress response, you think that it might need to run or fight or flight response. When the body believes that, it releases cortisol into the blood, and cortisol in preparation for fighting and flighting will cause the release of glucose from the liver and the muscles into the blood. So you have the energy in all the cells to actually do the fighting or flighting. High glucose, if chronic, increase insulin resistance. So if you don't sleep one night, okay, you have high blood sugar one night and the next day it's resolved. But if consistently you don't sleep enough, you are under stress, and cortisol is kind of releasing into your blood again and again and again. So blood glucose, it's all the time high, then you increase your chances of developing insulin resistance. When you settle for less good night's sleep, your body is prone to inflammation. Actually, not sleeping causes systemic inflammation, especially inflammation in the brain, but in other parts of the body too. And inflammation by itself is a risk factor for insulin resistance. The circadian cycle regulates your sleep and your metabolism one alongside the other. You need more energy when you are awake, alert, thinking consciously, moving, acting, eating. You need more energy when you are more engaged in life than when you are asleep. When you're not sleeping enough, the body cannot predict your energy needs. So the body actually doesn't just adapt to what you ask it to do or to the environment. The body works a little bit like a slot machine in a casino. It's all the time trying to predict what you will need and prepare to what you will need even before you kind of asking it to prepare. So if your body is anticipating you going to sleep, it will reduce metabolism in the body in preparation for you needing less energy. But if you're unpredictable, the body will continue to kind of, produce metabolism, release more sugar. And over time, if the body is not going into a state of rest with the metabolism going down, you risk type 2 diabetes. Appetite and satiation. Did you ever confuse being tired with being hungry? Did it ever happen to you that you didn't sleep well at night and you were reaching for the pantry for a snack, for something sweet usually, carbs especially, all the time? So apparently when you're tired, the body needs more fuel to function on. So it reduces the satiation hormone leptin and increases the hunger hormone ghrelin. People with chronic sleep depths will tend to reach out for snack more often. They feel all the time like they need to eat in order to keep energy going on, in order to function. And over time, it will lead to weight gain. Okay, one of the most important hormones in the body is the growth hormone. Growth hormones are released by the pituitary gland that is right behind your third eye, and they are released mostly at night. And what they do is they grow and repair tissue and build muscles. And the idea is that there is natural wear and tear of tissue in the body during the day. And when you sleep, the body can build tissue, especially connective tissue is important. That's why when you stretch in the morning, you feel this need to stretch because there is new connective tissue and you want to make it more pliable. Really, there is this building and growing of tissue during the night. There are a couple of roles that the growth hormone play in the body. One of them is breaking triglyceride into fatty acids. So fatty acids are one of the most efficient source of energy for the body. They are very important for us, like for energy, basically in every cell in the body. But we don't use a lot of fatty acids in energy production, actually. But triglyceride, actually, if they are not broken down, can move around in the blood and create plaque. So if you don't sleep enough at night, your triglyceride don't turn into fatty acid, you don't use them for energy, you get stuck with a lot of triglyceride moving in your blood and maybe plaque. Growth hormone also promotes protein synthesis that is crucial for tissue repair and muscle building. Muscles burn more calories than fat tissue, and also muscle don't need insulin to suck out sugars or glucose from the blood. They can take glucose from the blood easily. So when you have more muscles, your metabolic rate is faster, so you have more energy, and you also reduce insulin and glucose in the blood. Your entire metabolism is more efficient, and it helps you reduce weight. Growth hormone also help regulate the sensitivity of cell receptors to insulin. So if the cell receptors are more sensitive to insulin, they take more glucose in, reducing blood glucose and preventing type 2 diabetes. Metabolism is the foundation of energy production in the body. If you don't sleep enough, you will be exhausted. You will feel depleted all the time. But more importantly, the cells in your body will be exhausted. And that means that the tissue in your body are not able to function optimally, and the organs in your body can't really function optimally, and that's created a chain reaction that leads to disease. So sleep is very important for metabolism for all those reasons. Now let's talk about how you can help yourself get a good night's sleep. So like we said, the body likes to anticipate what's going to happen. So if you maintain a regular sleep schedule, go to bed at the same time, wake up in the morning at about the same time, the body can predict your energy needs and provide them to you. If you manage stress, you reduce cortisol in the blood, and then you reduce glucose in the blood and keep your metabolism more stable without spike and crashes. You can manage your stress with meditation, yoga, and breathing exercise. Mind your diet. You want to manage your glucose during the day to prevent glucose high and crashes during night. One way to do it is to eat fat and protein every time you eat carbohydrate. So don't eat carbs, especially not simple carbs, without eating protein next to it, because the protein will kind of slow your absorption of glucose into the blood. So it will be more gradual, and it allow the curve of glucose to not spike and crash, but more to be more, slightly elevated and kept more balanced. I consider sleep critical for growing health from the roots up. When I talk to my clients, when I'm in an intake meeting, I usually ask clients, I'm always asking clients, when did they go to sleep? When do they wake up? And how many hours of sleep they get every night? Is their sleep disturbed during the night? Do they wake up? Why do they wake up? How fast do they fall asleep? In the beginning of the night, during the night? How refreshed is their sleep feel in the morning? Do they feel energized, or are they depleted and having a hard time starting the day? Those are all very important questions. I also ask a lot of questions about how they eat and the amount of carbs and how their energy is regulated through the day, because I understand that you need to work on both things at the same time. On the one side, I need to work on sleep. On the other side, I need to work on metabolism, always together to create a well-being. That's it for today. I hope it was helpful. If you have any question or comment, I would love to hear from you. So leave me a note in the comment. And other than that, I will see you next week for sleep and mood disorder, which is really a hot topic, because a lot of people that don't sleep enough hours a night have mood disorders, and they don't connect the dot between the one and the other. So looking forward to next week. Bye.